this is Mr. Wilk. Y'all see what's on the table. It's a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum from their Performance Center. We're going to talk about the gun in a little bit, but before I do, I just want to get the Guntuber shoutouts out of the way because I want to make sure these guys get their credit. One, first off, is a regular gun guy. He's kind of like the Guntuber uncle. He brings everybody together. Like, he brings the whole family to, he starts the reunions, that kind of thing, They're actually doing a shoot in Houston this weekend. I wish I was there, but there are a lot of big names going there. Yoki Stirrup, GHD Hustle, Jay the Shooter, Santee TV. I love you, Santee. A lot of big names are going to be there. I wish I could make it, but probably next year I'll make it. But make sure you check out a regular gun guy. And another guy is Diesel TV. Both these guys do a lot of live streams, and those live streams, I'm telling you, are they're insane. They're so fun to watch and just chat. Like, you get to know a lot of people within the gun community on YouTube, and both those channels give you a lot of good content and then a lot of good live streams. It's very fun, especially when Santee's in there. But yeah, there are a lot of other people who will come into the chat too, like Miss K, Carbon Q, Guns and Hookah, Big Dre, Jay the Shooter will be in there sometimes. Even GHG Hustle will pop in a little bit. But make sure you check out those two Guntubers, a regular gun guy and Diesel TV. Their links will be in the description. And one more thing before I get into the gun, just go ahead and drop a comment down below. It makes me feel like I'm talking to people instead of, talking to nobody here. But that makes me feel more comfortable when I see comments. It could be good or bad. I respond to all my comments, so go ahead and drop a comment for me. So now let's get back into the gun. This is the Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum from their Performance Center. It has a 10.5-inch barrel. You got 5 shots in the cylinder. And then I have it topped off with the Vortex. Sorry, not the Vortex. The Loophole VX3. It's a 2.5 to 8 times zoom, which is insane for a handgun. But why not? Why not? If you want to hunt something big, this is definitely the handgun to go with. 32 millimeter objective lens, and it has a focal, or sorry, not a focal, an eye relief of 15 inches. So you don't have to be right up on the scope to see what's in there. You can actually see, pretty with your arms extended out, you'll be able to see the reticle. It's a duplex reticle, and you'll see it just fine in there. But this thing is definitely a beast. It's the longest barrel of the 500, so you're getting the maximum velocity out of that cartridge. And speaking of the cartridge, I want to show you a couple different loads here. So this is one Hornady Custom 500 grain bullets. Pretty good potent stuff right here. But when Smith & Wesson developed this gun and the cartridge, they actually developed it alongside with Corbon. And this here is the Corbon 500 Smith & Wesson Special. It's 275 grain DPX. It's all copper bullet. But this is like, a hunting cartridge if you want something light still, but still got a lot of punch. You can see I bought this for $42 at Mary's Pistols in Tacoma, Washington. And this was years ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was. But I still have a couple of rounds of this stuff. I have no idea where to find any more. I've been looking it up. But if you want to have somebody start off with something light, you could either get like light loaded 500 or 500 Magnum, or you can get some of this stuff if you can find it, the 500 Special. It's the same concept as like 44 Magnum and 44 Special, or 357 Magnum and 38 Special. But here's what they look like side by side. So this is a fired 500 Magnum next to a 500 Special. And these are actually stamped 500 special. It's not, you know, like a cut down 500 Magnum. I mean, it basically is, but it actually is stamped on there 500 special. And this is a Sammy spec round. Corbon developed this round with Smith & Wesson. And then this one here is one of the Hornadies, 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. But yeah, this is what they look like side by side. Essentially, the 500 special is basically a 50 AE with a rim. So this here is a 50 AE, the round that Desert Eagle shoots, and then the 500 special. And you can see they are pretty similar in length. The 50 AE is a little bit longer overall, but the internal volume is almost exact. I poured some water into this one, and you know, just poured it into the other one, and they filled up to the brim on both of them. So it's essentially a rimmed 50 AE that you're shooting out of a 500 Magnum pistol. And here's a 50 AE right here with a loaded one. And just for comparison, the 500 Magnum next to the little baby 9mm. But I'll have some videos of me shooting these rounds. That 500 special really is very light out of this heavy gun. This thing is I don't even know how much it weighs, but it has to be like 12 pounds maybe. Because when you have all this barrel hanging out here and then you have a scope on top of that, you just hanging all that weight. It absorbs all that recoil. So the 500 special shoots like, it feels like maybe I'm shooting a 40. And then the 500 Magnum, of course, is a beast, but still is tamed out of this 10.5 inch barrel. I never shot 700 grain bullets out of this thing, but I have shot 500 grain bullets. And, you know, it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as people make it seem with this long barrel. I've never shot the really short, you know, snub nose ones, the ones that stop about here. I bet that kicks a lot. I never tried it, but, you know, maybe I'll get the opportunity one day to shoot it. But I just got the 10.5 inch barrel because if I'm going with a big cartridge, I want to get the maximum velocity out of this thing. So I went with the long barrel. I don't want a gun that's just for show. I want it to actually do its job too, you know. So yeah, that's my 500 Magnum. It's clean. I love it. I used to have one of these before. I had to sell it, but I finally got another one. It's back in the collection. And I just want to show you this too. With these rings, with these scope rings, you can still look through and see your iron sight. So you don't have to look through the scope. You can still look through your iron sights for anything that's close up if you need quick acquisition. But yeah, this thing is fun, man. Be on the lookout for videos of me shooting it. And make sure you check out those Guntubers I mentioned earlier. And then go ahead and drop a comment for me. And we're going to have a lot more fun guns coming in. This year is going to be pretty good. So be on the lookout. Stay tuned, y'all. Have a good one.